Welcome to Tonight on Word. My name is Envy McKee. I am guest hosting. That's Gary Bartz, an NTU troupe. That's called The Drinking Song. Google that. Have that in your rotation. It puts things in perspective. And so, welcome. Welcome to tonight's program. Eric Nixon, a.k.a. DJ Frosty Phoenix, is on the ones and twos.
Hey, what's going on, Envy? What's up?
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. It's Monday.
It is Monday. It is Monday, but I feel like I just saw you. Because Eric and I, in case you don't know, we host a show on Friday nights, 7 to 10 p.m. called The Envy McKee Show. And so Eric is... Yeah, claps for that. It is a very woo-woo show. And so this is kind of a little different. We're going to add a little, we're going to do the BET Tonight vibe for you, but I'm woo-woo, so we're going to add a little. This is what Spirit is telling me is going on with this as we go through the top stories.
Add a little you to the weekly rotation.
Yeah, add a little woo, and you can take that any way. We might play some Wu-Tang later on in the show.
Whatever floats your boat.
I don't know why that was funny to me, but it is. So we're going to talk the stories that are top of mind for us. Eric, you can tell them what the call-in numbers are, because I understand that this is a very call-centered, heavy show. I love talking. And if you want to talk to me and talk to us, we can talk together at the same time. So you can call in. What are the call-in numbers, eh?
215-634-8065. 215-634-8065. Or toll free, because that's still a thing, 866-361-0900.
Are we on the Facebook Live?
We are on Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch. Just look at us. Watch Envy and I just talk about, I guess, stuff that was on the weekend and what's happened today so far.
Yes. This is my 5-minute phase. Hi to the Facebook Live. So some of the things that are top of mind, we're just going to run down, and then, whatever you're into, you can call in. You can talk to us when we get to it. I have been rolling through my Facebook feed, looking and seeing what everybody's talking about. You know how we do.
You want to keep it light, or you want to hit heavy? No, go ahead.
Well, we're going to do a little bit of everything, because right now, most of what is on my Facebook feed are people having a whole cow over that song by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion called WAP. And what's interesting about that, and I posted about this earlier today on Facebook, is that there have been nasty, tricky songs since the beginning of time. And for whatever reason, every generation has their, I think I want to say our parents' generation had Millie Jackson. She was real. And then Betty Davis, too, was considered a little bit, extra. Some of the songs that the male folks be singing be real, extra, and have been. From what I understand, Smokey Robinson he puts it down a little bit that we didn't understand. Prince. How many Prince songs that are really out of control have we just been like, get you, yeah, mama. Patti LaBelle. You know what I'm saying? Like Lady Marmalade.
When you find out what the Electric Slide song was really about, but yeah.
You can't explain. It's electric. My point being is we all love to clutch our pearls about what the current generation's nasty version is. We all love sex. We all love to have it. We procreate. We are not short of children, so we like sex. We like to procreate. We like to have sex even when we're not procreating. My point being, I'm trying to figure out why every generation has their pearl clutching. That song is not worse or better than any other song.
I don't even think it's about the song. I think it's about because there have been worse songs that have come out before that song.
Listen.
For me as I don't even say a musician, but a beat maker enthusiast, the fact that they remixed "There's Some Blanks in This House" and put a nice spin on the beat. That song was catchy in
But
itself.
remember Uncle Luke? Remember Uncle Luke?
Mm-mm.
Every song Uncle Luke did was, I'm not gonna call it trifling, but it was, you know,
it was catchy.
That's the word you want to use,
Yes,
sure.
yes, it was. What's the
It
word?
was popping. It was popping. It was all that stuff. Like, folks been twerking. What was doing the butt? That was the early version of twerking, wasn't it?
It was.
Doing the butt. Sexy, sexy. Come on, y'all. We can do better. The pearl clutching is just so silly to me.
But why this is important, and especially on a Monday, it's that even perusing the news today, and like you said, this has become a big thing. A couple of people, even one of our colleagues, wrote on Facebook her opinion about the song, and we wonder what the big deal of it is. But the people are focusing on, oh, the video was cool, the lyrics are fine, that's that and third. Yes, get it, girl. Why is Kylie Jenner in here?
I forgot about Kylie Jenner. That's right.
That's right. My feed is very news focused, but ever since the coronavirus, people have had time to post other things, and a lot of the things people are getting to more so in their opinion, and not any normal than usual. But one of the stories and a few comments that people typed up a status about was, why is Kylie Jenner in this video? And well, why is that a big deal? Because she's a white woman in a song that is being performed by two black women. You might
That's not why. That's not why.
No. I'm laying it out. I'm laying it down. But
do y'all know who Kylie Jenner is?
Go ahead.
Is this a Kylie Jenner audience?
No, it's not a Kylie Jenner audience.
Kylie Jenner is the sister of Kim Kardashian. Do y'all know who Kim Kardashian is? Kim Kardashian is married to Kanye West, among other things. Her family, including their mother, Kris Jenner, is notorious for pilfering black content and making it like they did it. For example, Kim or Chloe, there's a bunch of sisters. They'll wear, say, Bantu knots, Chloe, or cornrows.
Kylie,
they'll wear, stuff that we usually wear. That we have
appropriation.
Appropriation. They will wear stuff that is historically ours, and I'm talking about black women. And they will then, for whatever reason, they'll rock it and then call it something different. Like I want to say, when they did the cornrows, they started to call it, I don't know, summer knots. I don't know. It was something else. They act like they discovered it. They are Columbusers, colonizers, if you will. And then they also love black men, and then they also love to have black children. So the other part of that being, not that there's a problem with loving black men or having black children, but if you don't have respect for the culture and you go out here and love to, perform blackness, but when the struggle comes, I will say the exception is Kim, because she is getting black women out of jail. But when the struggle comes, where are you? And then you want to argue with people when they tell you about you, there's the problem. Kylie Jenner.
Kylie Jenner
is known for her makeup kits, in which she made them famous by getting lip plumpers to make her really normally thin lips look very full. And then she did a whole lip kit. And then she made $1 billion, if something like that. And, she's not going out in the world and being a, basically people are mad because she's famous for having no talent. You know what I'm saying? And then here she is in this video. That's the whole thing.
I was talking to a friend. Oh, no, I think, we were having this discussion. We also have discussions after the McKee show. We were talking about with our other co-host, Martin the Man, and we were literally breaking this down. I think Envy went somewhere. We were just breaking down the idea of entrepreneurship.
Right.
Familial entrepreneurship.
She called herself she didn't. Somebody called her a self-made billionaire when her seed money was like $1 million or something like that.
I think she falls into that category or that label or whatever. But I could tell you, and me personally, that I think Kris Jenner is like one of the ultimate historical momagers.
She is the momager. She is the momager. If you want a momager. Oh, but who is his name? I'll come back to it. You finish your thought and I'll find who I'm talking about.
With her being like the ultimate momager, to the fact that all of her daughters, and everyone in this world has a talent. It's something we talk about on the Envy McKee show. Everybody has a point to be here. You might not realize that you might be very good at carpenting. You might be very good at plumbing. You might be very good at singing. You might be very
Did you
good
say
at
carpeting?
carpenting. Carpentry. There you go.
I thought you said carpeting.
Carpeting. You might be good at that
Like,
too. You might be good at that too.
I'm not talking
But
to you anymore.
but to say that all of her daughters have no talent and her son have no talent is it's an accurate fallacy.
Right, because they are not known for. Go on, finish your thought.
No, that's an accurate fallacy. And I feel like
But why is it a fallacy?
because they're good at something.
Just not the thing they're famous for.
Correct. You would think that and we also talk about hard work on the show. You would think that hard work and the grind and just,
Well, we
pulling yourself
can't
up
say
your
they don't work
bootstraps.
hard.
They do. They do work hard at what they're good at. And like I said, there's a
They
talent
work
for.
hard at being. We'll say this: their talent is being able to use social media to gain fame.
I wish my phone could hold that much of a charge. No, I'm kidding. Stop. or being near a charger for that long. Losing my words here. You would swear out that to be a social media mogul or influencer, that you have to have some type of device on you at all times.
But we started that, and we talked about this on the show as well on Friday. We blame all of this on Diddy because he did flossy suit, shiny suit man. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole flossy, get that mentality, where we made the mainstream goal is to have so much that you can floss it, fake it till you make it flossy, and that became hip hop culture, and that became black culture. And so all these people who love to perform blackness said, oh, that's all we got to do? We can do that. You know what I'm saying? And think about
when
it.
it becomes black culture, it becomes culture after a while.
Right. And so that's all they're doing. They are performing the videos that they've seen. They saw that there's a market for big booties and whatever else. And so that you cannot take anything away from these women. You know, I don't want to begrudge folks that do what they want to do. I think we were talking about the issue with Kylie Jenner being in the video. I love Cardi B. Can I listen to every song that she performs? No, I cannot. I am not, that deep into Megan Thee Stallion to be able to know. I think I know one song, but that's only because there's a whole Instagram dance that goes with it. So love it. That's not my genre. Does that mean that I begrudge them anything? No, I love everything Cardi B does. I think that she is powerful and thoughtful. I think she's brilliant. Do I think she's the best rapper? None of my business. The kids love her. You know what I'm saying? Have at it. And I would like for us to all have that same, idea. It might not be for us, but have at it, boo. What I don't like is the conversation surrounding these women feeling empowered about their sexuality, and the fact that folks are pearl clutching, acting like they didn't have and their generation didn't have. We found a song from 1935. If you scroll through your Facebook timeline, you will find it too, that is nastier than any song that is currently on the radio, and then times two. Like, I couldn't even get through it. It was so nasty. I was like, that's really nasty.
What song are you talking about?
It's called, I'm gonna have to find it.
You know what? Look for it.
It's filthy. I'll just tell you that. It's filthy. I tagged you on it.
Oh, did you? Ew.
Yes.
Um,
And when I say filthy, I'm not lying. It is nasty. Anyway, my point being, and you get my point, is that we can do better, and we can realize that something is not our genre and not begrudge people what they want to do. I'm trying to extend that same grace, because I can take or leave Kylie Jenner for the most part, all of them. I can take or leave them, but I do, I feel the pain. I feel that feeling that people have. It's like, what is this girl who is known for pilfering black culture doing in this video? That is an ode to BAPS, by the way.
Mm,
You didn't know that, did you?
I didn't know that.
You remember Baps? So Baps was the movie with Halle Berry, and Countess Vaughn? I want to say it was Countess Vaughn, but I could be incorrect. I'm going to look it up. Baps, Halle Berry movie. Maybe it's
Are you
been
typing?
a long time.
She's doing a Google search
Halle
right now.
Berry, Martin Landau. Don't remember that person. Oh, Lord have mercy.
But the point is that it was an ode to an African American, a movie with African American leads in it.
Who is Natalie Desselle? Oh, it wasn't Countess Vaughn. It was Natalie Desselle. Okay.
Learn something new every day.
She
we'll
went
say,
to Grambling State.
oh, that's cool. 215-634-8065. What did you think? If you have any opinion about this at all, unless your opinion also is like, why are we even talking about this? At the end of the day, it's when people care about.
We
you know
don't
what I'm
want
saying?
that opinion. No.
No, I mean not like that, but
But we're talking about
focus is.
how easy the generations forget that they too had the generation that were the generation before that.
We do.
And that's kind of where this conversation is going. It's like, how are we going to embrace what's coming next if we always, at some point we're going to have to be the generation. We're going to have to stop trying to make the generation coming behind us feel like they're stupid for being themselves. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're going to have to be able to embrace. Yeah. And we're going to have to stop the sexist way we treat women.
Yeah.
Like, I have heard some songs that male artists do that are just out of control, and and we're not talking about R. Kelly, but if you want to start there, we can. There are artists from all generations that are just crazy.
Like
we
the song
don't post
by
them.
Drew Hill.
Right. Name them. Like,
Yeah.
you will run out of hands and feet and people.
Yeah. No, go ahead, Envy.
No, we're going to go to break.
Yeah.
You got it.
We got a couple calls on the hold right now. We'll get to you right after this break and continue this conversation. And just what else have you been keeping your eye on over the weekend? What's happening? Of course, we have other stories to touch on in the next couple hours that we're here with you right here on Word Radio, 96.1 FM, 900 AM WRD. It's tonight on Word with Envy and DJ Frosty Phoenix. Commercial break, and we'll be right back after this.
Okay.
Weather and traffic to keep you informed for your drive home. In the happy hour with Sincerely Sarita. Monday through Thursday, 4 till 7 p.m. Right here on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD.
This message is from the Philadelphia Department of Public Health. COVID-19 is still a threat in our communities, but we can all do something simple to help stop the spread. It's critically important to wear a mask or face covering whenever you're in public or around others. Yes, even while social distancing. Wearing a mask shows you care for yourself and your community and is essential to slowing the spread of COVID-19. So love yourself, love your neighbors, wear a mask.
Show some love for your favorite neighborhood with Word Radio. It's the Summer of Freedom Virtual Neighborhood Love Tour. Mondays and Thursdays now through August 20th from 1 p.m. till 2:30 p.m. Shining a light on Philadelphia's neighborhoods with a focus on neighborhood history, Philadelphia's freedom fighters, and community resources that are helping to shape the city's future. Mondays with the rapping professor Dr. Aaron Smith and Thursdays with Andrea Lawful Sanders. It's the Summer of Freedom Virtual Neighborhood Love Tour. Mondays and Thursdays 1 p.m. till 2:30 p.m. exclusively on Word Radio. 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Streaming live on wordradio.com, the Word Radio app, and on Word TV via YouTube and Facebook. The Summer of Freedom Virtual Neighborhood Love Tour is sponsored by Wells Fargo and Pico. No fear, just facts. WURD. Join us for our annual Founders Day broadcast, a special on-air celebration of our founder, Walter P. Lomax Jr., MD. Thursday, August 20th from 6 a.m. till 9 p.m. For more information on our annual Founders Day celebration, stay tuned to Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, wordradio.com, and follow us on social media, on Twitter and Instagram at onWURD, and on Facebook at forward. Word TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now. Tune in on YouTube at onWord or on Facebook at Forward. Word TV. Black Talk Media. You're listening to Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Independent Black Media.
Kwame, we gonna take them back like polka dots. Holla! Come on! Woo! I like this! Huh? Yeah! Woo, 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 woo! Huh? Sweet! Yo, this so sick, I gotta take it back one more time. Huh? Wicked.
I want to put the needle on the turn the lights on. Let's get closer than most. Turn the lights on. Think we can get to know each other better if we turn the lights on. And let's grab a glass, let's take a toast with me. You and I in a room so dark. Hold me tight all night, lights off. Kiss me everywhere I can ever dream, boy. It's like heaven. Let me out. You gotta put the needle down on the record. Come on, turn the lights off. And let's get closer than most.
Yes. Isn't that Tweet?
Yep.
And Missy Elliott?
And
See?
Missy Elliott, yep.
Some more nastiness. Welcome back to, I'm about to say the Envy McKee Show. To Tonight on Word, I'm Envy McKee. That's DJ Frosty Phoenix, a.k.a. Eric, well, I should say Eric Nixon, a.k.a. DJ Frosty Phoenix. We are talking about
You sure?
this
Okay.
whole, right? This whole uproar that folks are having over this video WAP, where Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, who are two new rapping
Sensations.
artists. Yeah, sensations. That's a good word. That's what they are. And we were talking about Kylie Jenner being in the video. There was a response. Cardi B did have a response to Kylie being in the video, and she basically said she wanted to have all women of all races and all, successful women on this. And I guess it was an ode to owning your sexuality, and fine. Okay. And then we were also kind of talking about how generationally we tend to forget that the generation coming up also like sex the way that we like sex. So we always forget. We get churchy, I guess, when we get older. I don't know.
It's almost like a question of, is it just that the songs have gotten more raunchy, or are you just embarrassed that you had your WAPs? You had your, what was that song that 50 Cent came out with years ago that was with
Doo-Doo Brown. Doo-Doo Brown. Do you want to have a conversation about what that song is about?
the title alone? I'll look into that later, but it wasn't 21 Questions. It was the one, Lollipop. There you go. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
No, Candy Shop is what it was.
Candy Shop.
Candy
This
Shop.
is the Candy Shop. That's 50 Cent.
Yeah.
I will say this, for all intents and purposes, I will say that the songs are, to me, and this is just to me, are a little less creative.
Yeah.
Like, there are some
yeah.
songs that I didn't even know were about different things until I was grown. I was like, oh, that's what that's about.
Yeah.
Versus nowadays, they don't leave a whole lot for you to imagine yourself, or you know what I'm saying, they don't hide a lot. So I will give that. They're far more explicit. But then listening to that song that I did not find from 1935, I want to say that maybe we can blame our education system.
Yeah, no, very much so. Creativity, spinning words, and being an individual to be able to say something to you in a manner that might not be as colorful,
Right.
but it gets the same
Flowery.
message across. There you go.
Poetic. Like, I feel like Prince was masterful at it. There are a couple artists, I would say, Earth, Wind, and Fire, maybe. I'm not sure how many of their songs were sexually explicit, but I don't know. I would have to go back and look through.
It's
but
definitely not the ones that are highlighted in the
they're
standard
not.
playlist of the
No, I'm trying to
Black
think
Family
of
Cookout and all that.
Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson.
Keep It in the Closet.
Remember that song by Janet? All the girls in the party, look at that body, shaking that thing like you never did.
That's not the worst.
Nice package jar. It's not the worst, but I remember vividly dancing to this song and probably not paying attention to the lyrics. And now being a grown woman, I'm like,
Yeah.
dang.
Let's bring more people into this. We got Tyrone
Sure.
from North Philly. Wants to chime in
Tyrone
on his
from
music
North Philly. What's
conversation.
up?
Yeah.
Well, peace and blessings, and it's
Peace
a
and blessings.
wonderful evening to have you on a Monday. And I'm not feeling my cool out Fridays that when I be listening to you. But look, the worst song that I believe that could ever have been made, and they used to play it every other record,
Oh no.
was the one, Do Your Mama, Kill Your Daddy,
Ooh,
Put Your Sister on the Block.
what is that song?
Oh, what was the name? That was the song, and they played it like it was the national anthem.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that sounds like a terrible song.
Well, that's at the time. I think that's what really sent Miss, our Nubian queen, Miss Dolores Tucker, when she was fighting the rap. And I think that was one of the songs that really took her, I think that really, took her under. Because,
Over the edge?
yes, because, she was fighting. And what she was fighting, I think at the time, a lot of folks didn't understand, because that's when rap was first coming into play as rap. But
Who are you talking about?
Rap. Miss Dolores Tucker.
Oh, okay. Dolores Tucker. Okay.
When she was battling against the deplorable, stop calling women this, that, and the other. And I'm telling you, this song, and they just played it and played.
Are you talking about the Tupac song?
Well, I think
Because I want to say Miss Dolores Tucker was famous for how she went after what's his name, Tupac. I could be wrong, but I think this is her.
I think that was them, putting, one of the primary artists against her, but she was going against the industry. She was talking about what rap was and what it was doing to our children. So she was going at the industry. And then
Just rap in general.
Right, this big battle between her and Tupac. And I think it was Tupac's record. And I'm telling you, I don't even know the name of it, but
It was How Do You Want It?
Is Jay played that.
How do you want it?
It was.
How
Okay,
do you
so
feel?
But
It says-
anything that says, do your mama, kill your daddy, and put your sister on the block had no right to be played every other 5 minutes. That's just me.
said,
But look, I
well,
was just
no,
trying-
actually, so it wasn't the song was not, okay, so C. Dolores Tucker, this says, this is from Wikipedia, I Googled. dedicated much of the last few years of her life to condemning sexually explicit lyrics in rap and hip-hop songs, citing a concern that lyrics were misogynistic and threatened the moral foundation of the African-American community. She called them narrow-minded by some rappers who often mentioned her in lyrics. Tucker picketed stores that sold rap music and bought stock in Sony, Time Warner, and other companies in order to protest hip-hop at their shareholders meeting. She's also fought against the NAACP's decision to nominate late rapper Tupac Shakur for one of its image awards and filed a $10 million lawsuit against his estate for comments that the rapper made in his song, How Do You Want It, on the album All Eyes on Me, in which Shakur rapped, "See Dolores Tucker, you're a M or F'er. Instead of trying to help N-word, you destroy a brother." In her lawsuit, Tucker claimed that comments in the song and on the track, Wonder Why They Call You a B, from the same album inflicted emotional distress, were slanderous, and invaded her privacy. The case was dismissed. So she had issues with The Game. She had issues with Lil' Kim, KRS-One, Lil Wayne, all kinds of. But she died in 2005, so I'm trying to figure out why.
Dang, like one of those five that you named, I didn't think KRS was even that bad. KRS isn't bad.
So she was, and just by the way, she's a Temple alum. She's a Philadelphia alum, a Temple alum, and she went to the Wharton School. So it wasn't like, she's from Norristown. So
she wasn't unfamiliar.
She was not unfamiliar.
Yeah. Let's go to the next call. Thank you.
That was interesting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tyrone, for that dropping that information. Though. Let's go to Derek from Southwest. What's going on, brother Derek?
Peace, blessings, and prosperity.
Peace, blessings, and prosperity, brother. What's going on?
Right on. I just wanted to chime in on a conversation with the song WAP. Are any of you familiar with the artist? This is going back a little bit. Marvin C. Anybody familiar with Marvin C?
I'm not. Envy, are you?
No.
Well, he had a real nasty song out that was really popular. He's an older guy, but he was making still music. And it was a really nasty song titled Candy Liquor. That was an interesting song at the time because they played it all the time. And
Candy Liquor? On radio? They played it on the radio?
Yes, they did.
Lord.
it was worse than 50 Cent song.
Mm.
I mean, because it was really explicit. I mean, it was no question about what he was talking about.
Okay.
And the thing that I find really fascinating is that in the music industry, this go all the way back. So it seems like as time progressed forward, morality was not a factor in making music, or you can no longer it could be no longer like good music. It's just music of its day. Now I understand that every generation wants their period where their moment where it's get down. You know, that's what dancing and having fun and things are about. But I think that we have to hold the industry and the artists responsible for putting out certain kinds of music. That's all to it.
Are you sure it's our job to censor what they put out? Because listen. So in 1934, and thank you to Sincerely Sarita for finding this song that I could not find on my feed. The woman is called Lucille Bogan. I cannot even play a clip of this because it is that nasty and that explicit.
Sarita listened and looked you out?
Woo, honey. And the name of this album is Shave 'Em Dry. And the name of the song is called Till the Cows Come Home. And I just want you to just take a moment and think of Candy Liquor, right? And think of Doo Doo Brown. And think of any other song that you can think of that's really nasty. And then think of how explicit those songs can be. And then that won't even touch this one. And that was in 1934. And there's no poetry to it at all. So I guess my point in saying that is that Millie Jackson, who else? Any artist, male artist that you can think of today. I remember explicitly there's a song called Tell Me That the P Is Mine by, what is that dude's name? He's one of them singers. Chris Brown.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not Chris Brown isn't the one who sang it, but there's
No,
another
not
dude.
not the Chris Brown
He's
is a
in
very
that same
common name. Like,
No,
wait, you're
what
talking
is
about
the
the common
dude's
name?
name?
Are you talking about?
I'm going to tell you who sings it because I have it in my phone.
In the meantime, for those that might remember the song that MB's talking about, I mean, give us a call or hit us in the comment section on Facebook Live. Share it on Word Radio's Facebook page, YouTube, my personal page, MB's personal page.
The point being
comment, you know.
is that we can't, it's not our job to censor the artists. The artists speak to what's going on in their world. So I'm thinking, though, if we don't like the music that these artists are coming out with, do we have a stakehold in that? Are we buying music? You know what I'm saying? At some point we're going to have to, I understand that there's a whole iron curtain and all that stuff, but at some point we're going to have to take responsibility for the music that we listen to. You know what I'm saying? And
at least being able to listen to the music with your third eye open.
if nobody listened to it, then nobody would make it.
But don't take it for everything that it is. I'm not going to exclude myself from situations. I listen to it, but that doesn't define me.
No, it doesn't, and it shouldn't. But and again, this is about, we have to be mindful of how we censor artists. But already we don't invest in artists and art. You know, already we don't put our money, our tax dollars in any meaningful way. I mean, a little trickle here in art programs for the kids, in music programs for the kids, so that kids can, you know, thrive having, you know, a breadth of experience, so that maybe the explicit, nasty songs they write would be more poetic, at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're gonna take some of that.
Yeah, no,
So
I agree with that. We'll take a break real quick though. Come back after this commercials and continue the conversation on
What's the phone
shaping
numbers?
music. 215-634-8065. Toll free 1-866-361-0900. Get in on the conversation.
Come on. We'll be right back.
Tonight on Word.
Pico has many ways to help you lower your energy usage and save money at home. Here's one. Have an old working fridge or freezer in your garage or basement? Pico will pick it up, dispose of it responsibly, and give you a $75 rebate. That's right, $75. Plus, you can save as much as $150 a year on your energy bill by getting rid of it. Just schedule your pickup at pico.com/recycling or call 1-888-5-PICO-SAVE today. Be sure your fridge or freezer is plugged in and working at time of pickup.
I ain't no better than you, and you ain't no better than me. But we all have something in common. We all are in species, seeds of God's creation.
Tune in to Messages in the Music every Friday night with Joey T, midnight to 6 a.m. right here on WURD.
Be heard. Want another way to join the conversation?
Follow us on social media
Using the hashtag onWURD.
Be heard.
Stay connected to Word Radio.
Independent Black Media.
Part-time job, full-time hustle, all-time Shiro to all of us. You nurture, we listen. You teach, we thrive. You lift our spirits, but we've got to lay down the truth. It's time for you, our Shiro, to stretch for the stars. Start saving more for retirement now, so you can feel prepared and live your life to the fullest. Get free tips to help boost your retirement savings now at aceyourretirement.org/Shiro.
A message brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Word TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now.
Tune in on YouTube at onWURD
Or on Facebook at Forward.
Word TV.
Black Talk Media. You're listening to Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Independent Black Media.
Wish I
used to that life so plastic. By the lake, LA like magic. Spit rapid, no crash, just glances. I'm very happy. Then I told her, baby, fall in love. Ooh, ooh, fall in love. Wish I never did it. I don't wanna love. Fall in love. Ooh, ooh, fall in love. Wish I never did it. I don't wanna love.
Girl, you know I'm too legit. Hitting up my mans that I be coolin' with. Hooligan, girl, I told you I ain't one to foolin' with. Not communicating, but I get that from my mama. It's a jungle of gorillas. Why you with anacondas? I'm a Zulu Nation rep, but get the hammer like your honor. Keep it moving for my partners. Ain't no hooping in me, Casa. Ain't no hooping. She just bouncing up the juicy, but I'm Fanta. Got the juice, and then I lost it out for two with my deposit last week. But I made that cat week. Black sheet. Hey, do not fall in love with that rap sheet. Hey, you know I'm just out here really trying to pass me. Hey, young sister.
Welcome back. Tonight on Word. Envy McKee, DJ Frosty Phoenix. I want to say Martin the Shaman, but he's not here.
Well, it's so bad, yeah. It feels
right,
incomplete.
it's there in my soul. So we are talking about music, and specifically nasty music. It was inspired by the new song by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion called WAP, and the different interesting reactions that the song has warranted, mostly about, oh my God, how dare they do this explicit song about sex? Oh my God. And, you know, probably thinly veiled, people are mad because these are women taking well, Kylie, that came up. Some folks were mad because these were, you know, women taking full ownership of their sexuality. Some folks, like, there's been so many different interesting takes on it. But I think the bigger, for me, conversation about this is, how do we better equip our children who are coming up? Because guess what? Sex is not going away if we want to continue to be a species on this planet. And so every generation finds a way to express the lives that they're living. You know, some people like filthy, fun sex. Some people like really safe.
Sensual.
I'm just saying. You know, some people like different things, just like people like different people. Whatever pot fits your lid, have at it. And as artists, I feel like, and I'm an artist, which is why I take this seriously. Well, I'm sure we all take it seriously, but I'm just, as an artist, I don't want my work censored. I want to be able to express myself the way that makes the, you know, speaks my truth. You know, everybody was up in arms when Beyonce did that one song, the Drunk in the
Drunk
Limo.
in Love?
Drunk in Love, there you go. You know, it doesn't have to be your twist, but it's the artist work. And we should allow our artists to do what they do because that's what they do. My issue here is that we don't invest in our art, and we don't invest in our artists. We don't invest in our children in that regard. We don't think art is important, which is why every time things get tight, we don't expand our art budget. We just cut it all out. And we add more police, I guess. And the issue that I have with that is if we really and truly invested in our children's art, maybe we would have more creative ways that people talk about sex in their art, because no one's going to stop talking about sex in their art. But what we noticed is that we might not really like how explicit it has been, how, you know, people are just really kind of literal instead of poetic. Like, who knew that Darling Nikki was about masturbation? Darling Nikki is one of the, I listened to the song and I still don't know. I don't hear it. I don't get it. But it doesn't mean that that's not what it's about. You get what I mean? And I just feel like our clutching our pearls and being prudish is not serving, you know, the fact that sex isn't going away unless we no longer want to exist.
215-6, as she sips her tea, 215-634 for those that are listening on the radio. If you're not watching on Word TV on Facebook and YouTube, MB dropped a comment as she's sipping her High Soul High mug, which is also on mvmckee.com, that you can get your your mug.
That was that was my Cardi B.
But we have an artist on the line that I talk to on a regular basis off air sometimes. Jacob from Alney dropping his experience. What's going on, Jacob?
Okay, Jacob from Alney. Hi, welcome to the MV McKee Show.
All right.
From
Welcome
tonight
to Tonight
onward.
on Word.
Look at you, too comfortable.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, Well, look, Sister McKee and Frosty, how y'all doing?
What's up, man?
You know, as an OG, y'all got to understand, you know, we did all that before we got saved now.
Come
on.
Okay?
I mean, that's proven at this point, yeah.
But you know what? If you go back, a white woman, Mae West, oh, my God.
Right.
Y'all should listen to her stuff. And this was way back when.
see me
You know what I mean?
sometime.
But, you know, and I heard y'all mention that Tupac song, you know, with KC and his brother was on. I'm telling you, that's funky. I mean, I don't even know too much what he's saying, but the music is bumping. I'm just saying, you know, so I really like that one. But, you know, the story, I heard you mention Millie Jackson, right, and Betty Davis. Now, I toured with them when I was with the Delphonics. We played, our horn section played for Millie Jackson at one of the shows. We was like I think it was the Howard Theater in Washington. That's like their Apollo or Uptown. And at the end of the gig, she cussed us out for asking for our money, Millie Jackson. So
She cussed you out for asking for money for
yes,
for
we
backbeat.
played.
What?
And when we went to her dressing room at, you know, the end of the show to ask for her money, she gave us a stipend, but it wasn't our money. And then she cussed us out for wanting more. So, I mean, you know, that was Millie. And, whoa, I mean, the clothes, I don't even call it clothes, but what she and Betty Davis, who was married to Miles Davis at the time, Betty had a tune called "If I'm in Luck, I Just Might Get Picked Up."
That's right. We featured her on. We did a Black Artist Story
Yeah.
365 on her. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
You can play that. That song is dope. Go
yeah,
ahead.
but you know, look, you know, my thing is this: when I saw that Cardi B John, though, I had to do a Fred Sanford. Elizabeth, honey, this the big one. I'm coming to join you. So I mean, but you know what? Like you said, look, we had our days back then, and this and that. You know, we had a tune called back in the day. It was so risque that when the grown people danced to it, children wasn't allowed to be around. It was called "Walking the Dog." Okay.
It sounds familiar. That sounds familiar.
And the song it said, if you don't know how to do it, I think it was Thomas. If you don't know how to do it, I'll show you how to walk the dog. And I'm telling you, children were not allowed to be in the room when grown folks was partying to that one.
By Rufus Thomas.
So, yeah, Rufus Thomas. Yeah, there you go. So I'm just saying, we had our days, but y'all got to remember, this is before we got saved. So y'all going on. Thank you very much for just letting me get that out. But
Of course. Thank you so much for your
thank you, Jacob.
contribution to this conversation, yo.
He's a historian of music, especially when he can talk about his experiences when he was traveling musician, and proving the point from a background. And I know you were a background singer too for your time period.
I was not.
When I thought you did.
For my time period? How
No,
old do
not
you
your
think
time
I am,
period.
sir?
I'm not saying. Oh, I'm saying that at one point you did a stint as a background singer. Didn't you do it?
No.
I could have sworn. Or was it? Or is it that Martin the Man wants to put you up to be someone's singer? That you
I don't
should
know.
sing.
I had an album.
Yeah, there you go.
But I was not a background singer.
I could have sworn.
I
Maybe had a
have sung
conversation.
background on people, but I wasn't like
But
that.
you-
Isn't
but you
that's a
weren't-
whole profession that I did not do.
Okay. So there we go. So I wasn't right, but I was half right. That's a half right.
I was a singer, if that's
Yes.
what you're asking. I was.
Yes, you were a
That's
singer.
one of my
Yes.
past lives. Yes.
Yes. So we have Wes from Mount Airy to continue this conversation. What's going on, Wes?
Hey, how are you?
Good. How about you?
I'm good. I just find it funny because I just remember the '93 songs, Akbanelli, Put It in Your Mouth.
Right!
Kaya,
forgot
My
it.
Neck and My Back, and Sasha, Kill the Bee. So
And what?
Sasha, the reggae song by Sasha called Kill the Bee.
Wow.
Right. There's so many songs, right?
And it's funny because people my age, I find it funny when I looked on Facebook and see people talking about that, and these same individuals dance to those songs. A lot of times as we get older, we like to whitewash our history to our kids.
I love that you said it whitewashed. I love that we like to Columbus. Right? We like to colonize.
Yeah, like we were holier than thou, but then sitting there listening to Luke. I mean, I just find it funny. That's one thing I always try to sit there and make sure I didn't want to be that guy to sit there and say, oh, my goodness. For me, this is not music for me. It's not for my age group. I sit there, I listen to it. Okay, that's fine. But who am I to sit there and cast stones when I listen to the songs that I just mentioned?
Exactly. At 1,000% point, and we were joking on a couple of my girlfriends and I were joking. I think really what it is that once we reach a certain, we have been told, and this is it's changing because there are more and more people who are of a certain age who are really embracing that their bodies can take them as far as they want them to go. You can continue to work out if that's what you want to do. You can continue to have a youthfulness with you if that's what you want to do. We have been told that once you hit 40, you old over the hill, you might as well, go out to pasture. And so we just kind of let ourselves languish. And I think part of what ends up happening is that you're not having as much sex as you used to have, so you act like nobody else can have any sex. You try to act like no sex is ever happening now because you're not having it. And the thing is, you can continue to have it. Take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop chasing after, good night, babe. Stop chasing after youthfulness, if you will, or begrudging youthfulness, and just be grown and live a youthful life, if that makes any sense. Not saying that you need to be out in the club. I'm just saying make the best out of where you are in your life. And I really think that's part of what it is. It's like once we stop being in that that prime, I'm using rabbit ears, that prime age, we put ourselves out to pasture. And then we begrudge people who are still having fun, and we don't have to do that.
Pretty much.
Look, you know what I'm saying? Look at Halle Berry. Look at I know they're exceptions. They're celebrities. They're not real. They're real people, but they're not, every day look down. But they have decided. Will Smith. What's that guy? They call him. He works out. He's like 55, and he's got like the body of a 25-year-old. Like, this man works out. I can't remember his name, but he's an Instagram quote unquote influencer. There are people.
One, like, wow, like.
Well, he's more than that. Like, there's a bunch of them. They call
exactly.
them silver. The silver. They would have these gray beards, and they out here, being black and fine and grown and all that stuff. And I think the point that I'm making here is that we have to stop begrudging the generations coming after us because we think our lives are over, because we let society tell us that our lives are over. And what we have to begin to do is realize that in every phase of our lives, we're, maybe our youthfulness was the top of one mountain, and now we're at the beginning of another. And so we have to begin to define for ourselves what we want our lives to be. We live in a universe of infinite possibilities. Why would we allow ourselves to just work ourselves to death and then languish and then just fall off? Life's a be until you die. And I think that's, probably the bigger aspect of the conversation that we're having here, that all the things can exist at the same time. The young folk can have their music, and it could be, as trifling as they want it to be, and that's great. And, having the wisdom and being saved, that we know that we need to invest in those kids so that they have the musical ability to make better music. You get what I'm saying? So that both of those things start to feed each other. So then when those kids become our age, they go, you know what? Not only am I going to take care of myself for the length of my life, but I'm going to make sure that my kids have what they need to be as musical and as talented and as creative as they want to be. I'm not going to let society define, what happens. We always feel like once you hit a certain age, once you hit 30, once you would, you know what I'm saying? And we perpetuate this because, I've listened to conversations, I remember conversations that I had with my own parents who are, fairly youthful, who I want to say they didn't do it on purpose, but they kind of fed into that notion that once you reach a certain age, well, then nobody cares about you anymore. Well, my question is, do you care about you? And what kind of information are you putting out there and giving to the generations that are coming back? And if you don't like their music, it's not for you.
215-634.
Wait,
Where's your
hold
mug?
on.
Where's your mug? Thank
Here
you.
it is.
That's very. if you're not watching on YouTube, on Facebook TV, on Word TV right now, the drop the mic moments substituted by this High So High mug after Envy's dropping some hints on y'all to just conduct your lives a little differently.
That's right. That's where the woo-woo comes in. Friday night, 7 to 10 p.m.
Yeah, you get all this for like 3 hours on Fridays. 215-634-8065. Toll free 1-866-361-0900. We're gonna go to break. When we come back, we're gonna continue this conversation about generational recognizing. Was it game recognizes game? Generation
Game recognizes game. I love that.
There you go.
I love that.
Generation recognizing generation. Don't be mad. Don't be mad that, you know what? Envy said it better than I can. We'll be right back.
Check out the Source lineup on Word Radio. Mondays, get ready for the rapping professor, Dr. Aaron Smith. On Tuesdays, it's Andrea Lawful Sanders.
Then on Wednesdays,
it's the Black Women's Leadership Council. On Thursdays, it's a second helping of Andrea Lawful Sanders. And on Fridays, it's Tiffany Bacon.
Don't miss the Source.
Monday through Thursday, 1 p.m. till 4 p.m. and Fridays, 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. Exclusively on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD.
Streaming live on wordradio.com and on the Word Radio app.
In Pennsylvania, everyone counts, and everyone needs to participate in the census. Our population count determines our voice in government and how much federal funding our communities receive for health care, food assistance, education, transportation, housing, and more. So every infant and child, every foreign and U.S. citizen, everyone matters. For a stronger future, we all need to count. To learn more, go to pa.gov/census.
Hey, Word family. Our friends at Amoroso's Baking Company are hiring right now. Amoroso's has been baking the delicious bread in our community for over 100 years, and they want you to join their team today. The old and the young love Amoroso's, and they are hiring right now. Check it out. They offer fair pay and provide health, dental, and prescription plans after 90 days employment. Call 856-754-0355 or visit amorososbaking.com for details.
This message is from the Philadelphia Department of Public Health. COVID-19 is still a threat in our communities, but we can all do something simple to help stop the spread. It's critically important to wear a mask or face covering whenever you're in public or around others. Yes, even while social distancing. Wearing a mask shows you care for yourself and your community and is essential to slowing the spread of COVID-19. So love yourself, love your neighbors, wear a mask.
This is Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD Philadelphia.
Independent Black Media.
Word TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now.
Tune in on YouTube at onWURD
or on Facebook at ForWord.
Word TV.
Black Talk Media. You're listening to Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, Independent Black Media.
Tonight on Word.
Tonight on Word. 9 p.m.
Yes, DJ Frosty Phoenix on the ones and twos. keeping this ship together. And so we began this conversation tonight talking about Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion's song WAP and the interesting reactions that the song has caused, the video has caused, and all the different angles. And then it kind of morphed into we need to do better ourselves for our kids.
Well, the lighter part of the conversation is that you can sign petitions that mean more than just wanting Kylie Jenner X'd out of the video on a regular basis.
Right.
That's a small part of the bigger conversation, but that's what people on my timeline are talking about. Or most of the commentary was, yes, girl, except for her. She needs to go. But the rest of y'all can get it, but she needs to leave. You know, so.
So on a more, I don't know what to call this.
I am
Everyone
mad at
knows
you,
who's
though.
CeeLo Green, you know who CeeLo Green is?
I just looked at a song in the rotations to play.
Interesting, because this comes from thatgrapejuice.net. I guess this is a gossip blog. I don't know, but Demetria L. Lucas, who I follow and I love, I think she's amazing. She's kind of like a cultural critic herself. She posted this, and so I looked it up, and it says, while most are enjoying the splash that was Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion's racy WAP video, CeeLo Green is not one of them. Indeed, so unsettled by the scantily clad nature of the clip, the Gnarls Barkley singer has moved to speak out about displays of sexuality by female rappers more broadly, a move that saw him muse on Nicki Minaj unfavorably too. He says, CeeLo was speaking to Far Out magazine. He said, "We are adults. There should be a time and a place for adult content." This is what we were talking about, right? As adults and artists, we should at least attempt to be each other's accountability partners in some regard. The stereotypes that are celebrated and perpetuated ultimately make the perception a reality. It is disenfranchising, and it has caused a great deal of problems. He went on to add, you have the heads of state like Nicki Minaj, or someone who is up there in accolades, success, visibility, and platform to influence. Nicki could be effective in so many other constructive ways, but it feels desperate. Green concluded, attention is also a drug and competition is around. Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, they are all more or less doing similar salacious gesturing to kind of get into position. I get it. The independent woman and being in control, the divine femininity, the divine femininity and sexual expression. I get it all, but it comes at what cost?
I'm sorry. What was that, CeeLo? Say it again.
See you driving round town with the girl I love, and I'm like, forget you.
Oh, that was the clear version, but you know,
right.
You sound like you were mad because
Forget you and forget her too.
Okay, that's what I
So,
thought.
I'm not going to personally address this. There's a lot going on my timeline with regard to this, but I want to read Demetria L. Lucas's response to this, because I think it speaks to the broader conversation here about that. So she said, and she says it real cute, the ashy audacity of this man. How dare a mofo who pleaded no contest to drugging a woman at dinner in order to F her, i.e. rape, and once hopped on Twitter talking about it's not rape if she's passed out, ever fix his monster face to criticize women's sexuality being the downfall of anything. After those tweets, he deleted his whole account and went on an apology tour because he was dragged so hard. He said this about WAP. Stereotypes that are celebrated and perpetuated ultimately make the perception a reality. It is disenfranchising, and it has caused a great deal of problems. You know what caused more societal problems than women embracing their sexuality and liking to F? Rape. Address that. Since you want to have opinions on societal ills. He got a lot of nerve to speak publicly about anything involving women and sex after 3 years of probation and hundreds of hours of community service and a year of AA narcotics meetings. And did he forget he made Closet Freak, declaring himself a freak, and how he wanted to pull over and F something in the backseat of a car? That wasn't desperate, though. I'm sick of these, this is Demetria, I'm sick of these men criticizing women for doing and saying the exact ish men do and say every day without anyone saying a word. What you say about that?
Still be waiting.
Ain't that some ish?
Look.
And I'm not even playing that song to say forget him, but forget you was a jam for a long time. Don't act like.
It was.
You know.
And again, I think CeeLo Green is a brilliant musician. I love Gnarls Barkley. I'm not going to say I love every song that CeeLo Green has ever done, but I think he's an excellent musician. He's brilliant. He's musical. Like the fact that he was able to take a song like F You, and it was the jammy jam. You know what I'm saying? Like they played it everywhere. Like he's got a gift.
And he did a very good job of Mary Did You Know. His rendition of Mary Did You Know is.
Oh my God.
Yes.
He's really, really brilliant. He's brilliant. He's weird. He's wacky. He's quirky. We love all those things. But now we're talking about, like we talked earlier last hour, we talked about begrudging our artists and censoring our artists. But now you have an artist trying to censor other artists. And what gives you as an artist the right to do that?
When your closet is a jar.
Listen. Unless you marry Mary, or maybe that's not a good example.
That's not a good example.
I don't know who the pious artists are, but I feel like
the pious artists, I think, are the ones that are quiet.
The ones that are quiet, the ones that don't exist.
Well, everybody has something, but I feel like it's almost as if to say the people that are more in straight and narrow that don't do those kind of things, kind of just release their music and then stay to themselves. They don't really get anything crazy. It can be a balanced conversation about the ones that the squeakiest wheels don't get, the oil, like that type of thing. I don't know.
Maybe.
It could be.
I found out that the name of the guy that we were talking about, the guy is like 55 or whatever, and he's on his 20s, John. Like he's in the best shape of his life. He's one of my inspirations. His name is Titus Unlimited. And if you have no idea who that is, please Google. Please look at this man as an inspiration. He's a black man and he is on his John. I see lots of people who are they are living their best lives, you know what I'm saying, in their 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s, and you too can be one of them like me.
And I'm mad at you real quick though for something that you text me during the break. Is that to look up a song by Lucille Bogan?
I did not tell you to look it up. I just, listen, sincerely, Sarita, who was on the show right before ours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm mad at you and I'm mad at her.
Don't be mad at me. I told you. This
Third
is
line
1934.
in. Third line in.
I'm just saying. And how did I preface the conversation? I said maybe it's how we are educating our children. Because in 1934, it wasn't like, we weren't educating black folks, you know what I'm saying, to the umpteenth degree. You know what I'm saying? So she wrote a song based on the information that she had. And so it was very explicit. So we can't say the music is getting more explicit. The music just is about as explicit as it was in the olden days, back in the day before education was, mandated, if that's the word to use. And so if that's the case, there was a time where musical education was, prevalent in our schools, where, kids got a really, really good education. And they started to get real poetic with it.
This song has the nerve to rhyme with this old man. The second stanza has the nerve to rhyme with this old man.
Put it in for Facebook Live. Put it in the Facebook Live. Listen to it at your own risk. But if we had to hear it, so now you have to hear it. And then you can comment if you want to. That was 1934. You can't tell me that in the song that I was talking about earlier, the P is mine. Tell me da, 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 da. That's Miguel. Mm-hmm. That Miguel song. Remember, I was saying it was Chris Brown. It was Miguel.
Okay, that makes sense. Like, Chris Brown is not the first of his, he's the first of a particular age group, but he's not, the first to.
But they all nasty, and they all talking about the same thing. Drake, what's Drake talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. 215-634-8065, toll free 1-866-361-0900. We have a couple calls on the line. We have Cliff from Connecticut. To want to talk about the messages. What's going on, Cliff?
Thanks for taking my call. And listen, just had a question or an issue. Nobody really brought up the
issue of, or the subject matter of who owns these industries.
Yeah, well, that's,
So I go back to Nick Cannon and Professor Griff. We don't have those positive lyrics promoting and inspiring our people. And so, again, it degrades to me. I'm just saying that's what this, and I'm going as far as saying satanic, Illuminati. I'm equating all that with this whole entertainment and rap industry. So if we as a people want to be elevated to a higher level of consciousness, we must promote our blackness and be more God conscious. And how is this helping us?
How is it helping us? So do you think
exploiting the sex? Of course we know sex has existed and we need it. You know what I'm saying? In terms of, as you would mention, in terms of being productive and producing life. But to exploit it like that, and then to say what we're doing in terms of also adding to that sex, also adding to the killing and the murdering and defaming and degrading our women. So that's where this whole thing is going at. And again, these are not black people owning these industries. These are what ethnic groups are owning these industries in which they're paying off black people to exploit our people.
Okay. So are you saying that sex is not godly?
Cliff?
Did you hear me?
Nah, you were on mute for a
No.
second. Go ahead, man. No, are you in and out?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now a little bit more?
Yeah.
I think the Illuminati.
Yeah,
doesn't
they're
want
they're trying to mute you, my brother.
Yeah, you're right. Listen, did you get my point? All I'm saying is that it's wicked and satanic, and these are people that.
Wait, whoa! You said whoa! You said
heard him.
sex is wicked. Sex is
No,
wicked and satanic.
No, he said the messages, what they're trying to portray with the particular type of music.
Oh, okay.
Right. Let me say this. I am with this. Jeff Epstein. This is the one that had the sex trafficking. You had Bill Clinton and you had Donald Trump that were involved along with a number of European elite, all white people, Europeans, and these are the people that own this industry. And so if they're doing it on that level, it's no question that they are trying to corrupt the minds of our musicians in order to infiltrate and corrupt the minds of our youth, and that's where we're at.
Okay. Thank you for your
So
call.
I'm just saying, so you wonder why we're not having any respect for each other, and we're not getting any respect for any other ethnic group. It's because of the fact that we are degrading one another, and along with the sex, also include with that the killing of each other, and also the love for making money to any extreme. All that.
Well, blame Diddy on that. We've already found the source of that, and we blame Diddy on that. Thank you for your call.
Yeah, thank you for your call, Cliff. To the point that, to take sex, that something that's supposed to be beautiful and create life and be a loving gesture between two individuals, like, I guess to Cliff's point, it's over-sexualized and, what's the word? I'm not saying monstricized, but to be defiled, I guess, when in certain types of songs and senses.
So here's the thing. While I appreciate that sentiment, if you look at things from a kind of a Christian lens, or I would just want to say just a religious, if you look at things from a religiosity kind of lens, you're going to see things.
Made up a word.
Yes, I actually didn't. Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith did, and I'm borrowing a word. So if you're looking at things from a religiosity kind of way, where there is things that are sin and things that aren't, where things that are godly and there are things that aren't, we're looking at it from a dualistic type of way, I think we sell ourselves short. And I'm going to stand in this, because I too kind of believe that to a point that you had to be pristine to add value, right? Where we feel like there was an original sin and that we're always trying to get ourselves clean from doing these bad things. But I really think that is a Puritan thing that has become a habit in our mind waves. I don't think that anything that God made can be defiled. I don't believe that. Even as wonky as people can be, we've had this conversation before on the Envy McKee show. Either you trust people or you don't. You know what I'm saying? Either people can't be trusted or they can. You cannot have it both ways. And so if sex is a sin, then it's always going to be a sin. It's not sex is a sin unless there is none of it. So it's either all good or none of it's good. And I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that pedophilia is good. I'm not saying that sex trafficking is good. What I think, though, is that these distortions of sexuality come when we don't allow ourselves our full expression of ourselves. So what I'm saying is that because we have made sex a sin, because that's essentially what we've said here, that religiosity has said that sex is a sin, having sex before marriage is a sin, not, you have to not express your nature, like the thing that brought you here. Sex is what brought us here. That's what happens. That's how we came here.
I thought it was a stork.
Right. And so we have made ourselves dirty.
Have you heard the stork story in a while? I haven't heard the stork or birds and the bees in ages.
And so we're all very squeamish about this thing that we do, that it is how we got here. We're all very, I can't tell my daughter about it. We're very, we worry about the girls, and boys will be boys, and we don't want to learn and grow and understand what sex is and how sex works.
You know what?
Yes, sex can be a beautiful thing, but sometimes it's not.
I'm going to push back on you. I'm going to push back on you. I feel like nowadays it is being told. It's either not a conversation at all or it's told. No. You don't think so?
It's like, no, because it's like.
I'm only fighting back with that because of the lack of stork stories or birds and the bee stories.
No, what I'm
saying
is we are teaching our kids, we're teaching our kids about sex through porn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which is a totally different conversation. There's a place for porn. Not into it. It's not my twist. But the fact that it exists means that, it exists, right? But we're using it as a teacher because we're too afraid to have these conversations. There is no reason why children should not understand what their true name of their sexual organs are, how their bodies function inside and out, the nature of their hormones. People should know at a very young age everything there is to know about their own bodies, how they work, why they function the way they function, from a very from a very clinical perspective. But we are so concerned about, but they're going to lose their innocence if they know why they have a penis or a vagina. And yes, I said those words because those are the
scientific terms, and those are very much, yep.
And the fact that I had to say that is the problem. Do you get what I mean?
Yep.
And so part of the reason why we have a problem with people having fun with, and we call it defiling, is because we still looking at sex from a standpoint that it's a sin. You know what I'm saying? And so when you think of something as a sin, it's splitting something about your fundamental nature. It's making you go, well, if sex is a sin and I was brought here by sex, I must be a sin. And so when you're walking the world from that standpoint, you're going to spend your whole life trying to get clean and you ain't dirty. And so then you have these defilings of sex. I'm not an expert in this, but I'm sure if we were to expand this conveison and invite
dove down the rabbit hole right now.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that there will be something to that. The fact that we can't have healthy sex lives, that was Freudian, healthy sex lives, you know what I'm saying, in a meaningful way without being embarrassed, or, the fact that we can't talk to our kids about sex without worrying about, being embarrassed, or that they're going to, be defiled. We're so worried about our daughter's virginity. We're so worried about, letting boys just get away with anything. Like, we're not being responsible humans. And we are putting a fundamental part of our humanity in a box, and we're wondering why we crazy. Wanting to rape children is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, wanting to have sex with someone that does not want to have sex with you is crazy. That's what rape is. It is also a power dynamic. I do not mean to oversimplify it. So what I'm saying is that we do these dysfunctional things because fundamentally how we talk about sex is dysfunctional. And until we decide that we're going to get sane about this, we're going to continue to have these things. So what our last caller said was not untrue, but it is a figment of the bigger problem. It is a symptom of the larger problem. And I'm glad that we were able to come all the way here, starting with the music and ending up with the real spiritual center of this, is that sex is spiritual. Because why? Everything is spiritual. And so if you believe God is holy, then you have to believe you are holy, because guess what? You were formed and fashioned in the image and likeness of God. So if you want to go there, we can. You feel what I'm talking
about? 215-634-8065. Toll free 1-866-361-0900. This is a special tonight on Word. What's the word? Starfolk University takeover.
Listen.
You know,
listen.
taking you to Earth School with Dean McKee. And Dean of Musical Fellowship. I'm just sitting here just playing the music while the dean's just dropping hints on the spiritual understanding of your music and your life. We're going to go to break, and we'll come back with more lessons right here on Tonight on Word with Evie McKee and DJ Frosty Phoenix. We'll be right back.
So you just finished binge watching that entire TV series? Now it's time to binge listen at wordradio.com. Check out our archives of WURD on demand and listen to some of the most memorable moments from your favorite hosts. Word Radio on demand. Check it out right now at wordradio.com/podcasts. Show some love for your favorite neighborhood with Word Radio. It's the Summer of Freedom Virtual Neighborhood Love Tour. Mondays and Thursdays now through August 20th from 1 p.m. till 2:30 p.m. Shining a light on Philadelphia's neighborhoods with a focus on neighborhood history, Philadelphia's freedom fighters, and community resources that are helping to shape the city's future. Mondays with the Rep and Professor Dr. Aaron Smith, and Thursdays with Andrea Lawful Sanders. It's the Summer of Freedom Virtual Neighborhood Love Tour. Mondays and Thursdays, 1 p.m. till 2:30 p.m. exclusively on Word Radio. 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Streaming live on wordradio.com, the Word Radio app, and on Word TV via YouTube and Facebook. The Summer of Freedom Virtual Neighborhood Love Tour is sponsored by Wells Fargo and Pico. This is Word Radio, independent black media.
Dietz & Watson has been making premium meats and artisan cheeses for over 80 years. And when it comes to stacking sandwiches and party platters, they've got something for everyone in the family, like maple honey turkey breast, American cheese, buffalo chicken, and more. So get to your local deli and taste 4 generations of family recipes. With Dietz & Watson on the table, you'll have everyone coming back for seconds and thirds. Dietz & Watson, it's a family thing since 1939.
My mom is stronger than anyone I've ever known. Growing up when life got hard, her strength helped pull us through. Even after her heart failure diagnosis, she remained stronger than ever.
My family's support keeps me strong. Together, we're rising above heart failure.
Heart failure doesn't have to steal your strength. For simple steps you can take to help prevent, improve, or manage heart failure, go to riseabovehf.org.
Word TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now. Tune in on YouTube at onWURD or on Facebook at ForWord. Word TV. Black Talk Media. You're listening to Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Independent black media.
Stretch what you got, give me your best and I won't turn you down. 'Cause you're always out to impress. You're always out to impress. You're always out to impress. This is the highlight, nothing dragging us through the thorns. This is the best time to be young, old, or reborn. Live like we
I'm not going to not do my own sets, even though we're trying to just pitch different, not even different types of music or different music conversation, but I don't know, just spinning it for my own playlist right here on Tonight on Word in the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome back. I love me some Rihanna.
But the song's called
Remember-
Beautiful People, in case you're wondering, and that's a remix with Sia. So.
Ooh.
Mm,
Folks talking about Rihanna too.
barely.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Like that.
No.
But she's considered an OG now in the music.
Yeah. Because she got to stop music and hit that beauty brand and Fenty. Shout out to her.
Listen, Rihanna is, I want to say killing the game, but she's not. She is expanding the game. So welcome back to Tonight on Word. We've been talking about music. We've been talking about sex. We've been talking about the spirituality aspect of things. We've had some really, really brilliant insights as far as calls are concerned. I would love some of our women listeners to call in and chime in on this if you're into it. What are the phone lines? I don't have it in front of me.
215-634-8065. Toll free 1-866-361-0900.
Because while I love, having a voice, I think that in order for us to have a full, well-rounded conversation, we're going to all have to get in on this. Yeah. Because, one of the things that I feel very, very strongly about was I was not, and I'm not coming at my parents' neck, by the way. I'm really, really not. But I want to say this. I did not feel, I want to say that my upbringing was not exactly what I needed. I had a very weird relationship I still have a very weird relationship with my mother. And I'm not sure that it's my mom's fault. She had the same relationship with me she probably had with her mom. And, a lot of the things that have become cultural for us as Black folks, not that say that we're a monolith, but a lot of us have had similar experiences. That's one of the things that binds the culture together, because we can all go, yeah, you got beat when you were growing up. Oh yeah, your mom used to say, I'm not one of your little girlfriends. We laugh because the memes come out, but at the same time, when you look at it from beyond a ha ha ha, that's funny, a lot of those things cause trauma and harm to us. And a lot of those things have roots in, let's say, for example, slavery. And our parents are doing the work that their parents did to protect their children from the harm that the world definitely was going to cause if we weren't in line. And so what I'm feeling strongly about is that at some point we are going to have to allow the trauma to end with us. At some point we're going to have to be the people that are like, that's not sane. And I don't have to give this, this does not have to go past me. And that's what I've been conscientious about. And so I looked at all of and I'm still looking, as long as I'm on this planet, it's going to be my work to do. But I look at my idiosyncrasies. I look at the things that make me feel upset. I look at the things that, cause me sadness. I look at the things that I feel trauma about. And I recognize that the people that I feel like did this to me, and I'm not talking about white supremacy. I'm not talking about what's going on, in the world per se right now. I'm just talking about in our interpersonal relationships for now. Yes, there's a broader conversation to have. We're not having that conversation today. But I look at how I feel when things happen, and I look and I see, where is this coming from? Where is the root of this? And I take my time and look at those things, and I say, this is going to be an issue. Like, for example, anger. Not to say that anger is unhealthy. I'm not one of those people. I feel like whatever you feel, that's how you feel. You should feel that way. What is not healthy is you feeling that your anger needs to be, you have the right to spew your emotional state on other people. That's not healthy. You can feel any way you want to feel, but you should not be dragging people through the mud with your feelings. That's a whole other conversation. But if you feel anger, for whatever reason you feel it, why? Where's it coming from? Where is it stemming from? You're not angry for the reason you think you're angry. Somebody that showed up in your awareness triggered something in you that's yours. And so our work, the work that I do personally, but our work is to investigate those things. Where is it coming from? That kind of stuff. And so I look at, the conversation we had about music and people's different reactions about those things. Our unique reaction to those things are stemmed to something in us. And I think for a lot of us, we were taught that sex is bad, that we're a sin, like based on how our parents talked about sex. Of course we were interested in it. We were always been interested. How many kids found their parents' stash of whatever, porn, toys, whatever, the thing that's hidden in the drawer, and we were like, well, what is this thing? And holding it up and investigating it. And because everybody acts so squeamish and weird about it, you thought that you had to be squeamish and weird about it. So you talk to your friends, I found this jiggly thing in my mom's box, and they're like, oh, what I'm saying? And we laugh about it, but it's like, because our parents did not talk to us in any meaningful way, we have a very weird relationship with sex that we should not have.
Hit you with the Little Mermaid. It's a dingle hopper. Ooh, I heard about this. It's like, that's not what that.
And we call them weird names, things and dun-duns and boo-boos and bop. You know what I'm saying? Like real dumb names for. Listen, we got to do better. And so my point in saying all of that is that we can change. We can change it. We can stop it. That whole mind wave can end with us. When we know better, we do better. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we don't want our children to be harmed. Of course, we want to protect our loved ones. But the best way that we can do that is being informed and sober about our, the way that we view sex and the way that we interact with sex. Like the fact that you have to be drunk to have sex to begin with is weird to me. The fact that you don't expect and relish enthusiastic consent by your partner, like you need to coerce. Like we have taught our boys to be predatory, and we don't even look at it that way. Like the woman that wants to have fun and filthy sex, you don't want her. You want the one you have to coerce to have it. That's crazy. And we don't look at it as crazy. Like that is how we have turned our relationship with ourselves and with our sexuality dysfunctional. And it's not our fault, but it is our responsibility. And that's, if there's any takeaway from this conversation, it's that. The microcosm, we started talking about the music and we talked about the reactions, but people's reactions speak to how they feel about themselves and their sexuality. I said, lots of people don't like the nasty song because they're not having sex. They're not getting their O's. So they have a problem with people who are. And that's not a really cute way to walk the world. You can't begrudge people their glory. That's why I go back and I stand by. If you feel a way about a thing that really isn't impacting you in any way, shape, form, or fashion, you need to investigate why. Are you mad because you feel like somebody has something you're not having? That's a T moment.
We got Jacob JB from Philly. What's my homie JB? What's going on? Spread love.
Yeah, God bless y'all. How y'all making out tonight?
Good, brother. Good. How about you, man?
Give God the glory. As always, my man Eric Nixon, DJ Frosty Phoenix.
Yep.
Hardest working brothers in the business, an exemplary.
Isn't he though?
Huh?
Isn't he though?
Yeah, that's what I just said. An exemplary.
I know, and I agree with you.
Thank you. An exemplary. First and foremost, God bless the WRD family. All the victims, our hearts, thoughts, and prayers are with them. And God bless everyone working to make it better. May we be blessed to get it together. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And Empress, I thought you made some very, very productive points tonight. I would just say, though, as far as scripture goes, God does say, and I believe if I remember correctly, Leviticus 11:44, God says, be ye holy, God is holy. God gives us rules on how to do that, standards. And a lot of people that didn't adhere to those rules, standards, end up getting destroyed as the story goes. So I think if we're going to at least investigate ways to do that set by Jah Almighty. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll put it to you this way. As far as the culture, I apologize. I had to dip out. I'm coming back in, so some things I said have been already said. I apologize if it's redundant. But I think we're having a conversation about culture. And, for example, in other places in Europe, you know, pornography on the TV in the middle of the day. The things that we in this culture would consider raunchy, over there just standard. You know what I mean? I can say one's right or wrong, but it's just a different culture.
Right.
Growing up, I'm part of the generation where Madonna came on the scene.
Remember? And folks were like,
what happened?
Remember folks were clutching their pearls about Madonna? And now she's lightweight.
Just mentioned her. But, yeah, but you know what I mean? But then, look at what happened. She, quote-unquote, cleaned the image up. Lady Gaga in a similar way for the modern day. But also culture-wise, a lot of cultures in the Caribbean have, in the reggae music, what's called slackness, and you have entire artists devoted in bringing that form. Like, you know, Vibes, I don't know if you know Vibes Cartel. He got some really explicit songs that are celebrated in the dance hall in a way. I remember with hip-hop, when Akinelli came out with Put It In Your Mouth. That was one of the most, that was the beginning of the prominence of the sexualism popularizing hip-hop. But if you remember, rock and roll was a term that meant to have sex. Jazz was a term that was meant to have sex. But in time, these things become standard. And I also think it's a matter of maturity. For example, when you're young, if you would, you'd eat candy all day. Unless your parents was like, nah, you ain't having that. When you get older, hopefully you make healthier food choices. So I think that's something we can also look at. And also, just because something's popular don't necessarily mean it's healthy. You can find a lot of junk food drive-through restaurants, but if you were to eat that all day, I don't think you'd have a beneficial outcome. Also, what you said about enslavement, it's interesting because it was a time when our sisters would have to perform. By the way, I didn't see Cardi B videos, so I'm not going to talk on it like that.
Okay.
But that type of behavior that I guess is going on, there's a time our women were forced to do that on the auction blocks against their will. Now we're living in a time where women volunteer themselves to get paid doing that. That's interesting to look at. Me personally, I say a lot of what's considered adult entertainment is juvenile. Also, something I learned on WRD with Michael Cord, bless his heart.
Shout out to Michael Cord. Shout out to Michael Cord. Yeah.
Well, right on. Well, Drake, if you remember, not too long ago, was it Drake and Mary J. Blige had a song called Fancy?
Okay.
There was now the term fancy, when it was applied to our enslaved empresses, meant that that empress had been broken to a degree where she would volunteer herself for the slave master and was adept at satisfying the slave master's sexual gratification, perversion, what have you. But that came after she was broken, not from her being empowered. I think that's something else we could look at. I remember Salt and Pepper had a song that came out, if she want to sell it on the weekend and be a freakin', it's none of your business. You remember that? Yeah, that was a Salt and Pepper song. Now, you can say it's none of your business, but fast forward to maybe about 2 months ago, where the young John was going over this guy's house to have sex and ended up getting killed. That was on television. So I think it all plays a role in what we're living in. I just tried to highlight some different topics that maybe you could jump on or people could think about so we can have a healthier situation for our people. God bless your hearts.
Thanks, JB.
Thank you so much.
I mean, yeah, you pretty much summed up a lot of what you were talking about.
I need to take notes.
Yeah, he jumped a lot of history, but and to your point, it was a lot of points that MB and I touched on tonight. It was in a great summary of ways. So thank you, JB.
No, it was,
for that.
and then we also need to keep in mind that, like I said, some of this stuff is a distortion because we don't know any better. We don't know who we are. So take a moment and go watch Black is King. You know what I'm saying? Allow that to roll around in your awareness. Yeah. Take a moment, and I want to be able to have different conversations about sex. I know that it's uncomfortable. Every time I say the word, I know somebody is itching. You know what I'm saying? Right now, they're itching. They're just, you know what I mean? And fine. But we have to begin. We're doing our children a disservice by not having a healthy relationship with our sexuality. And we're going to have to work a lot of this stuff. Like I said, it was not our fault, but it is our responsibility. And we're going to have to do some different things, or we're going to continue the cycle for our kids.
Yeah.
They took it and ran with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have nothing against what Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion are up to. Do you, boo? Is that my twist? Not my twist. I've listened to the song. I've watched the video. You know, it's fine. I can take or leave it. I don't feel any kind of way about it. And I feel like if you feel strongly about it, that's where we started in this conversation.
I gotta tell you about this song. We're about to go to break. I gotta tell you about this song that you might want to listen to during the break. Then I want to be like, y'all want to talk about this? And it's another song by a recent artist.
You talking about the 1934 song?
No. I'll tell you about it I'll tell you about it during the break. We're going to break. No, we can't. I can't play that song. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm gonna tell you about it during the break. No, you wish I can't. 215-634-8065. About
talk about somebody clutching their pearls.
No, I said, Lord, what is out of the ground? We have about 15 minutes left of the show. This is Tonight on Word with Envy McKee, DJ Farsi Phoenix. We just the vapors in here, just all of the things and all of the conversation. If you want to get in on, you have about 15 minutes to get in on the conversation. 215-634-8065. The last few minutes of the show, last few minutes of Flash Starfolk University class. If you're joining now, you're mad late. We'll be right back to close this conversation here on Tonight on Word. Stay tuned.
The Word Radio newsletter, keeping you informed, engaged, and connected. Sign up by visiting wordradio.com. Scroll to the bottom of the page and type your email address under Connect with Us. You'll receive the latest information on Word Radio, messages from our president and CEO, Sarah Lomax Reese, exclusive articles and multimedia content, and resources. Stay informed with the Word Radio newsletter.
Pico has many ways to help you lower your energy usage and save money at home. Here's one. Have an old working fridge or freezer in your garage or basement? Pico will pick it up, dispose of it responsibly, and give you a $75 rebate. That's right, $75. Plus, you can save as much as $150 a year on your energy bill by getting rid of it. Just schedule your pickup at pico.com/recycling or call 1-888-5-PICO-SAVE today. Be sure your fridge or freezer is plugged in and working at time of pickup.
Support independent black media and join the Forward movement now at 215-425-7875 or visit wordradio.com. Join us for our annual Founders Day broadcast, a special on-air celebration of our founder, Walter P. Lomax Jr., MD. Thursday, August 20th from 6 a.m. till 9 p.m. For more information on our annual Founders Day celebration, stay tuned to Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, wordradio.com, and follow us on social media, on Twitter and Instagram at onWURD, and on Facebook at Forward.
This message is from the Philadelphia Department of Public Health. COVID-19 is still a threat in our communities, but we can all do something simple to help stop the spread. It's critically important to wear a mask or face covering whenever you're in public or around others. Yes, even while social distancing. Wearing a mask shows you care for yourself and your community and is essential to slowing the spread of COVID-19. So love yourself, love your neighbors, wear a mask.
Word TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now. Tune in on YouTube at onWord or on Facebook at Forward. Word TV. Black Talk Media. You're listening to Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Independent black media.
Flip mode. 9-7. Bust a bus. Hot. Check it out. Hit you with no delaying to what you saying, yo. Silly with your ice, grilly with the dilly, yo. When I be on the mic, yes, I do my duty, yo. While up in the club like we while in the studio. You don't wanna violate, baby, really and truly, yo. My main thug, villain ain't Julio, he moody, yo. Type of rubber that'll slap you with the tulio. Real shook, scared to death, act fruity, yo. X that, look at shorty, she a little cutie, yo. The way she shake it make me wanna get all in the booty, yo. Top mistress of the banging misses and videos. While I'm with my freak like we up in the freak shows. Hit you with this shit, make you feel it all in your toes. Hot shit, got all my people in red clothes. Tell them my metaphors when I formulate my flows. If you don't know, you messing with lyrical player pros like that. You wanna party with me? Let me see just what you got for me. Put all your hands where my eyes can see. Straight buck wildin' in the place to be. If you really wanna party with me, let me see just what you got for me. Put all your hands where my eyes can see. Straight buck wildin' in the place to be. If you really wanna party with me, ain't gonna be trust. Yo, it's a must that you heard of us, yo, we murder us. A lot of people is wondering and they curious. I mean, in my unit, do it is so mysterious. Furious, all of my people is serious. Shook others, we walking around fearing us. Front, baby, like you don't wanna be hearing us. Gotta listen to Harry, he'll be playing us. 30 times a day to make you delirious. Damaging everything all up in your area. Yo, it's funny how all the chickens be always serving us. All up in between the ends where they wanna carry us. Hit you good, then I hit them off with the alias. Various chickens, they wanna marry us. Yo, it's flip mode.
Another point.
Welcome back to Tonight on Word. Andrew McKee, DJ Frosty Phoenix. We're capping up our conversation on, I guess this was the show about sex, I guess. I don't even know what to call it. We talked about, in the beginning of this conversation, we talked about Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, their new song WAP, and it's very well, it's sexually explicit.
Right.
The more you think about it, it's kind of like, it's like Candy Shop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like but I guess it's I don't know.
We got
Candy Shop.
We got a couple calls just to fill in this
Oh, we
last
do?
part.
We do?
So
Oh,
we have Carol from Lansdowne, to your comment
Hey,
about,
Carol.
you know.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
I just wanted to make a comment on the subject that's being discussed. And I wanted to say, whenever you buy a machine, there's always a manual on how to use that machine, or you'll break it. And I think the same thing goes with our body. There's not a manual per se, but we're not like machines. We're spiritual. We're also physical. So, being that we're physical, there is a way to use our bodies physically that we don't damage our bodies or that we don't misuse our bodies. So, and that way, that's what I have something to say about that, is that we can, it's the same thing with life. There's a manual. You can go, there's consequences to everything. And if you do things the wrong way, you can end up damaging yourself or your mind, your spirit. But if you do things right, according to the manual that doesn't come with our bodies, doesn't come with our minds, then we can benefit from that if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I get it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's all I have to say, and you all have a good evening.
Thank
You
you,
too.
Carol,
Thank
from
you so much for calling.
Lansdowne.
Yep, you're
Our bodies
right.
come with an internalized manual that if you listen to your body, then you'll know.
Come on.
You know.
And it's tricky because, as she said, our manual is not in paper form.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not something you pull out. Oh, but you know what? I have an itch on the back of my neck. You know, it's not one of those things.
Yeah.
But we're going to assume that's what science is for. We have another call.
Yes, we have Michael from Columbus, Ohio. What's going on, Michael?
Michael?
How you doing?
Good. How about you?
Hi, sister. I actually, unfortunately, got in real late. But so a couple of things.
Class starts at 7. I'm just playing.
Yeah, sister, I listen to WURD. I've been listening to talk radio since like 78. So,
okay.
And I've been specifically listening to HAT and URD. And, just got a lot going on, a lot of great stuff going on. But anyway, I actually, so I moved down here because I'm raising my grandson and, and just interacting with people. I do a lot of advocacy, and I have done for over 40 years. The conversation with sex, and again, I'm looking at my lens of advocacy, and talking to people in Philadelphia and out here, mostly in Philadelphia, because I just moved in Columbus 2 years ago. So the conversation around sex, I don't think it's that deep, and it's not being discussed. I know from raising my children and now with the grand, it's just so much availability, i.e. tools that are out there, and that's what's confusing children. The sister that I guess you touched on that, made this music, whatever. First of all, our sisters are amazing. They've always been amazing through any entertainment that they've always made. You get people in entertainment today that things are available for them to move their product, make money, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The confusion comes in is when you have 6, 7-year-olds trying to digest information and reckon with it because it's available to them. And that's the challenge with parents. It's just trying to, help them deal with that. But I don't think that just the conversation in terms of them, and I'm parenting now, as I'm basing that right now, and I'm in my 60s. The conversation in terms of having sex with my young 10-year-old, my granddaughter down here, and I have 19 grandchildren. That's not deep. Explaining what's going on in terms of the entertainment situation, it ain't all that deep. It's just unfortunate that some of the stuff comes as an assault on our children. Unfortunately, it has reared its ugly head in our community, and it's become a priority over a lot of things. And it's just a very, very unfortunate thing because, again, in the 60s, growing up with different violent film, et cetera, we didn't play those parts and we didn't play those roles. It got to a point where we got taken advantage of because of our swag, our beauty, our intelligence, and the main media hit all that, and it's making this stuff available. But again, I don't think the sex conversation is deep at any level. I've had many of those conversations, and I've been at many wild places, wild parties with people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Where was you at, Michael? Where was you at?
No, listen, I don't want to know, Michael. I was, and I think that's the.
Listen, I know I got to get ready to get off. Cardi B, them ain't deep.
Yeah, it's not.
No, they're not, and I think that's the whole point. They ain't deep.
They're not deep. None of them is deep. In fact, again, our sisters are amazing, and they real. That ain't real. They talking about how real they are. But our sisters are amazing, and they're real. And like you said, you don't have to get high, drunk, etc. to enjoy sex. You get an amazing woman, and you'll do all kind of things, because all kind of amazing things will come to you.
Okay.
Very solid
points. Thank you so much. We have to go. Thank you so much for all of you for joining in this conversation. I think that there are some gems in here from the playback. So make sure if you are on the Facebook Live, you can go and check that out. What's up next?
Reverend Al Sharpton.
Okay, Reverend Al Sharpton is up next. You can cap this up. Thank you for having me here.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for holding in tonight on Word on Monday.
Of course. The Envy McKee Show, by the way, if you're interested, 7 to 10 p.m. on Friday nights. We'd love to have you. Class starts at 7. Don't be late.
I'm there, too. So I'm like in 2 places all the time every week.
Always.
But
Always.
this has been Tonight on Word, hosted by Envy McKee and DJ Frosty Phoenix. Stay tuned for Reverend Al Sharpton coming up next. Tomorrow, Dr. Aaron Smith will be back for Tuesday, Thursday rotation, as usual, right here on Word Radio 96.1 FM, 900 AM, WURD, wordradio.com. Stay tuned for Reverend Al Sharpton. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.
Levine Heil Star, people.
Levine Osho, Envy.
Check out